mute my phone because inevitably it's Saturday morning, my sister will call. Okay. All right, I'm ready when you are.
It's on. I just turned it on.
Huh?
I just turned it on.
Oh, okay, great. All right. So good morning. I'm Michele Beebe. This is Om Yoga in Cut Bank, Montana, and I'm teaching a class called One Yoga Class, Many Gifts. So what I find in yoga is that we tell people to modify, and we're talking a lot of times to ability levels, like as if you're very new to yoga. And my teacher Shiva Ray taught me, and I agree with her, that there is no hierarchy in yoga. For instance, a lot of people like to do a push-up chaturanga. I can't, I just don't have those kind of arms. So it's not really ability level, it's genetically, we all have to make changes when we're doing class. My boyfriend, who's a beast and can do, you know, a handstand, sometimes he can't do deep spinal twist because he's so muscled up. So it's not that he's not a really evolved yogi. So I think we're all really evolved. Anybody that comes onto the mat is evolved. We're all yogis and yoginis. But we all have to make these unique changes in order to get through a class. So whether you want to do an advanced version of an asana or a basic version of an asana or something in between, we're going to be talking about that through this entire class. So it's just going to be a regular vinyasa class. If you have blocks, great. If you don't have blocks, you can use a book or whatever you want. And we're going to start in a seated position, sits bones on the earth. We're going to lift the heart and lengthen the spine. Hands are going to come to heart center. And we're going to breathe deep into our belly. Inhaling and exhaling at your own rate and depth. And as we do this, we're going to turn our attention inward, away from all the distractions of the day. And now we're going to take 3 deep breaths together. We're going to inhale up. Raise the heart. Exhale. Fingertips come down and touch Mother Earth. Hands to heart center. Inhale. Fill your belly with air. Exhale. And on this last breath, I'm going to offer an Om. You can join me if you'd like. Inhale. Hands come back to heart center. Let's think about our intention for this class. Thinking about what you want for this class. Maybe you want to devote this class to something. So let's take the mudra of intention. So left hand up, right hand on top. We take ourselves by the hand. This is the mudra. We're going to bow our heads and contemplate our intention or devotion for this class. There, the intention is set. Let's get to it. First, we're going to come into child's pose. This is just a great way to create space between the vertebrae. If you want to, you can take a block and put your forehead on the block, or place your forehead on Mother Earth. You can do a very traditional child's pose with your arms alongside your legs. But in America, we've kind of Americanized it, and we kind of place our arms up over our head, which feels amazing. Couple more breaths here, centering. And now we're going to come up onto hands and knees, tuck our toes, and walk our hands up our body, coming up into a standing position with our palms forward, mountain pose or Tadasana. gonna do 2 Surya Namaskars or sun salutes, 1 on each side. So we'll start right now. Inhale, raise your heart, bend the knees a little bit, and with a flat back, hinging forward at the hips, we come into forward fold. Forward fold can be with your knees bent so much you can rest your ribs on your thighs, letting your head dangle, relaxing your shoulders, or a little less bent, or a complete straightening of the legs. Also, in forward fold or Uttanasana, you can use blocks. Fingertips on the mat, we inhale up halfway. One of my favorite asanas, monkey pose. Let's lift the heart a little bit more. And it just creates this really beautiful stretch to the backs of the thighs. Let's just live there for a few seconds. And now we're gonna turn our palms to the mat, step back into down dog, and press back. Relaxing the neck and the shoulders. Let's look to the right and the left a little bit. And then we're going to inhale, right leg up. Bend the knee. Knee to navel. Now draw your navel in and then take the foot forward. If you can't take the foot forward, grab your ankle and escort it forward. Press the left leg back. And now this is a great time. You can be on blocks here. You can be on your fingertips. I prefer fists. Or if you have nice long arms, you can place the palms down. Relax the neck and let your head dangle. And inhale round the back. Exhale, press the heels back and pull the heart forward. Feel that good stretch. And again, inhale, round your back a little. Exhale, press the heel back, pull the heart forward. And one more time, this time with a Hasana breath. Inhale, exhale. Let's drop that back knee down. We come up into a modified warrior 1. Raise your heart, exhale. Hands come down, knees together. And we do Anahata Asana or heart chakra asana. So you just lower the heart as much or as little as you want towards the earth. Humbly and reverently. And then we'll come back up, hands under the shoulders into cow. And then we'll tuck our toes and press back to down dog. Now let's inhale that right leg again. Bend the knee. Inhale, knee to navel, foot comes forward. Back foot goes crossways, and we come all the way up into warrior 1. Raise your heart. Exhale, the hands come back to the mat, turn onto your back toe and step forward. Forward fold. Inhale up halfway, monkey pose. Now spread your toes, grab the mat, and inhale all the way up with your flat back. Beautiful. Excellent. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's stop for a moment. Feel the vibrational changes on that side of the body. All right, let's do the other side now. Inhale. Bending the knees, flat back. Exhale. Forward fold. Fingers to the mat. Inhale up halfway. Lift, lift, lift. Palms to the mat. Step back a little bit. Pressing back to down dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Press back. Relax the neck. Now, left side, we inhale the left leg up, bending the knee, knee to navel. This is an abdominal workout every time. Foot comes forward, we press that back foot all the way back,
Drop the head, relax the neck, let your head dangle, and inhale, round the back. Exhale, press the heel back, pull the heart forward, stretch. Inhale, round. Exhale. One more time with a asana breath. Inhale. Knee goes down to the mat. We come up into modified warrior. Exhale. Hands to the mat. We lower the heart. Now we're going to flow forward. Shoulders right directly over the elbows. We tuck the toes and we come into this plank, this forearm plank. Let's hold for a few seconds. Feeling that straight line, that danda, and how the energy runs along that straight line unimpeded. Exhale, belly comes down. Inhale, we raise the heart. Relax the glutes, relax the low back. Lift your heart. Now, very meticulously, we're going to roll down one vertebrae at a time. The forehead goes to the earth. The hands come together for prayer or pranam. Wrists come back under the shoulders. We'll exhale back to child's pose. Inhaling up into cow. Tucking the toes, we press back to down dog. Inhale the left leg up. Bending the knee, knee to navel, bring it through. Back foot crossways, warrior one. Here we go. Exhale. Hands come to the earth. We turn onto the back toe. Step forward, forward fold. This time, we're going to bend the knees a little bit and come up into our first Uttanasana or chair. Shoot the tailbone to the earth and the fingertips to the sky. Now inhale up. Exhale, hands at heart center. And then we'll take our hands to our sides in mountain pose. And one thing I love about yoga is that, yeah, it's a very physical practice, but we acknowledge the energetics of it. Shiva Ray, my teacher, says that we embody the directional flows of energy. And so we're going to be talking about that throughout this class too. But here we are, standing here on the edge of this class. We need to build a little bit more heat. So we're going to bend the knees, chin to chest, and we're going to roll back down to the mat. So building the heat is called, well, it's a reference to Agni, the inner fire or the inner metabolism. So it's like we're throwing a couple of logs on the inner fire. Let's step back to down dog. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to do two simple flows. A warrior one flow and a warrior one flow with a side opener. We're going to do these flows very slowly the first time. The second time we're going to speed it up. So let's inhale, right leg up. Bend the knee, take it through to warrior one. Go slow, meditatively. Back foot crossways. Take your time. And we're going to follow the prana, the upward directional flow of energy. Prana Vayu. We lift our heart. We exhale back to the earth where our hands are going to connect with the earth. Apana Vayu. We step back to plank. Hands and feet connected to the earth. Apana, that grounding energy, but also pushing up in the arms. Prana. Now a full-on chaturanga. So knees, chest and chin. And then belly comes down to the earth and we come up into Sphinxasana.
Raising the heart, again, relaxing the low back. And
Then hands under the shoulders, we'll press back to child's pose. Lengthening. Inhaling up to cow.
tailbone comes up. Heart comes up. And then we press into the earth and we even come up out of the shoulders a little bit. Tucking the toes.
We exhale. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Press back. Okay, let's do the left side now. Inhale, left leg up. Bend the knee. Knee to navel, foot comes forward. Take your time. Back foot crossways.
Inhale, following the prana. Exhale.
Prana Vinyasa, stepping back to plank. I'm going to show you a little option. So you can do the knee, chest, and chin chaturanga. But you could also drop the knees and just lower your heart, or you could come into a push-up and do your chaturanga that way.
And for your back bend, you can do this Sphinxasana. You could do low cobra, high cobra, or come up onto the tops of the feet and do Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, upward facing dog. Now let's roll over the tops of the toes
And press right back to down dog. So now you know your options there for your chaturanga flow. Now we'll do the dancing warrior sideways opener. Inhale, right leg comes up. Take your time. Let's bend the knee this time and let that leg fall back, opening the hip. Pausing for a moment. Feeling the stretch on that side of the body, and then the knee comes in towards the navel, foot forward, back foot crossways, warrior one.
Inhale, lift up, and now turn. Hands come to heart center. Namaste. We flow out to warrior two. Good. Now gazing out over the fingertips, bend your knees a little bit more. Come closer to the earth. Feel the length from one fingertip to the other. The back hand goes down to your back thigh. The right palm flows up, and we lift our hearts to heaven. Now we're gonna bend that arm, take it to the leg, reach up with your back arm, look up, open that heart chakra, and then reach forward. So you feel a huge stretch from your feet to your fingertips. Now we're gonna sweep down, inhale, back up to warrior two. And then your back hand passes over the head in blessing.
And we return back to the earth, stepping back to plank. And now we employ our kramas, or our options. So your chaturanga, you could do the push-up chaturanga, you could do just your knees, or you could do knees, chest, and chin, and you come up to your back bend. So that could be Sphinx, higher low cobra, or up dog, and rolling over the tops of the toes. We return to down dog, exhale. Good. Left leg, inhale up, bending the knee. Exhale, take it through. We're coming into warrior one.
Inhale up. Fill your lungs with air, and then exhale, turn. Hands come to heart center. Namaste. We flow out to warrior two. Gazing out over the fingertips. Let's come down, come down. Good, good, good. Palm up. Back hand on the back thigh. Raise your heart. Now I'm going to give you an option here. Bending that arm, taking it to the leg, or taking your hand down to the floor. Raise your heart. Look up. Now reach forward. Feel that long stretch. Now sweep down, exhale, inhale to warrior two. Yes, you got it. Perfect. Exhale,
we come back to the mat. All right, here's our flow. You do your thing. Exhale, inhale, tuck the toes, exhale. Now we pause and take a couple of breaths. We're gonna do those two flows again, but this time we're gonna really pick up the pace. So please remember that yoga meets you where you are. So use all your options or kramas. So we'll start with the right leg. Inhale up, bending the knee, take it forward, warrior one. Back foot crossways. Inhale, we raise the heart. Exhale, we come back down, we step back to plank. We go through our chaturanga flow. Exhale, inhale, we roll over the tops of the toes, back to down dog. Left leg, inhale. Exhale, take it through to warrior one. Inhale. Exhale. Stepping back to plank. Now your chaturanga, your back bend, and back to down dog. Now let's do the one with the side waist opener. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, take it through. Inhale up. Turn, exhale, hands come to heart center and we flow out to warrior two. Good job, good job. Inhale, raise your heart. Exhale, take your arm to your thigh or hand to the floor. Open your heart chakra, then reach forward and sweep it down. Come back up to warrior two. And then we exhale, back home to the mat. Plank, chaturanga flow. Exhale. Inhale, raise your heart. Exhale back. All right, left leg now. Inhale up. Bending the knee. Exhale, take it through. Inhale. Turn now. Exhale, hands to heart center. Namaste. We flow out to warrior two. Beautiful. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, extended warrior. So that could be here or here. Then we reach. Exhale, sweep and come up to warrior two. Beautiful. Nice. Exhale. Plank, chaturanga flow. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. We did it. So we've increased the inner fire of the Agni. Now let's take a couple more breaths. Let your head just dangle, extending the neck. Now we're going to bend the knees 3 times and launch up to our feet, or we can walk. So let's do this together. 1, 2, 3, jump or walk. Forward fold. Inhale halfway. Good. And now grab the floor again. Inhale all the way up with your flat back. Exhale, come all the way down. This time we're going to separate our feet a little, about hip width or maybe just a little bit wider. And bend your knees a little bit and point them outward. And then bend your elbows and point them inward. And so we're coiling in Samana Vayu, that inward drawing energy. And we come into this seated position, prayer squat. Now if this places stress on your knees, easy fix, a block under the tailbone, and you won't have any problems. So let's bow our heads, drawing inward, Samana Vayu. And then we press our arms against our legs, press our hands together, and we lift the heart, Vyana Vayu, that multi-directional outward flow of energy. So we're embodying this energy. And we're
gonna do Bakasana prep flow. Now we're not gonna do Bakasana just yet. We're just gonna do this prep flow. So hands go onto the mat and we shift our weight into our arms and just see how that feels. And then come back to your prayer squat. 2 more times. Exhale, shift your weight into your arms. Come back to your feet. And 1 more time, exhale. This time we're gonna hold it for a second. Shift your weight into the arms, see how that feels. And then push up, feet together. And Padahastasana, we tuck our fingertips towards the heels. And your knees can be bent a lot here, like bend them so much that you can put your rib cage on your thighs and let your head dangle. Or straighten them a little or straighten them a lot, whatever works best for you. Let's inhale up halfway 1 time. Fingertips to the mat. Inhale up. Raise your heart. Exhale. Tadasana. All right. Now, we should have blocks handy. And we're going to inhale up. And remember, bend the knees a little or a lot. Come down with a flat back, forward fold. We're going to take our right leg back and come into this high lunge. So lunges are just really super good places to use blocks, especially when you have short arms like I do. I love using my blocks here because it allows me to really relax that right front gate or that right hip flexor and raise my heart and get that good hip flexor stretch. Now, take your block over close to that left foot. Put your right hand on the block, raise your heart, reach forward with the left, and reach back and just do a little twist. Good job. Now come back around to the right edge of your mat and go right into Prasarita. So I've heard various teachers say, oh, put your feet parallel in Prasarita. Or some teachers say, heels in and toes out. I say, we all have different pelvises, so do your own thing. Do what feels right and doesn't cause pain. When you're in Prasarita, it's great to use a block if you want to. But what we're doing here is we're inverting, we're turning ourselves upside down. This is a pretty intense postural change. So we want to take our time here and breathe and relax. Now hands on the floor, we come up with a flat back. And we're gonna walk in 1 time, maybe 2. Grab the ankles to see how it works for you. Grab the ankles, sit down and raise your heart. So we're in this super deep squat. And from here, we're gonna push ourselves up into temple, not flowing. So this will be just a straight temple, hands at heart center, or if you want, you can take them up overhead. So with temple, we wanna watch that low back. So we take our tailbone down to the earth and we raise our heart. We don't want this or that. So the back stays nice and straight, or as straight as you can get it. And we sit down a little bit more and breathe. Keep breathing. All right, now inhale up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Hands go to the glutes, and we exhale down with a flat back, massaging the backs of the legs, massaging the calves, and then the hands come around here to the shins, and we push ourselves back up. We're going to do this 3 times, making this circular movement. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Let's take our hands all the way up, and we're going to pivot to the front. And we're going to flow in warrior one. So exhale down. Inhale up. A little bit. Exhale. Inhale about halfway up. Inhale, hands come together. And now we exhale, come down. Warrior one. So if you're like me and you find yourself on the inner edge of your foot in warrior one, roll your foot down. Apana Vayu. Come down lower. Inhale up. Let's flow into warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2. Gazing out over the fingertips. Again, watch the back. Draw the tailbone down. Palm up, back hand to the thigh, reverse warrior. Straighten that left leg and take your hand either above the knee, below the knee, mid-shin, onto a block, or to your ankle. So lots of different options. And this is really a spinal twist. So now we're going to look up at our hand. Lift your heart. Excellent. Exhale. That hand comes down. And we're going to step back into plank. You know why plank is so good for the abs? Because might not know it, but your abs are really contracted if you're holding this position right now. Also are your sides and your back. So it's so good for the core. We're just going to hold it. And I'm going to talk about plank. For one thing, we never want our wrists away from being in alignment with the shoulders. So always make sure the wrists are in alignment with the shoulders. That way you've got a stacked wrist, elbow, and shoulder, which prevents injury. Now let's press back to down dog. Take a couple breaths. We're going to bend the knees 3 times and then leap forward or walk forward. So here's 1, 2, you ready? 3, forward fold. Inhale up to monkey pose. And now we inhale up all the way, and we're going to come right back down. Exhale. We take the left leg back. Again, we're in this high lunge. So relax in that hip flexor. Raise your heart. Just opening up all the energetic chakras. Letting go of all that stuck energy. Now we're going to take the left block next to the inner right foot. We raise our heart and we're going to reach forward with the right arm and then reach back. Good. Now, with control, we come back around to the left side of the mat and back into Prasarita. Just relax. Find your most perfect stance. Just let it go. Hands on the floor, we come up halfway. And again, we're going to walk in a little bit. Grab the ankles, have a seat. Raise your heart. Now we're going to come back into doing that temple, but we're going to flow with it. So inhale up. Good. Exhale. Sit down deep. 3 more times. Inhale. Exhale deep. getting into that Mula Bandha or that rut lock. Inhale up. Now we're going to pivot to the front. Inhale up and do our warrior one flow. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Heart pointing the same direction as your knee. Hands come together this time. Exhale and float into warrior two. Reverse warrior. Now extend the right leg and take your hand above the knee, below it, mid shin, onto the block, whatever works best for you. And raise your heart and look up. Nicely done. Open that heart. Let all that sunlight get in there. Woo! Exhale, left hand comes down, and we go back to plank again. This time, meticulously making sure that our joints are stacked, and we're now going to go into side plank to the right. So, this can be done with stacked legs, or drop the left knee, extend the right, and come up. Exhale, and we're very mindful as we bring that wrist right directly under the shoulder and come back to plank. Now we prepare for side plank to the left. Drop the right knee if you want, or stack your legs. Nicely done. Rest. Come back. Knees to the mat, child's pose. Now, let's come up onto our forearms. Tuck the toes and come into dolphin. So just imagine what it would feel like if you were in a freestanding forearm stand or Pinchamayurasana. And let's get a feel for that. We're going to inhale the right leg up. Imagine yourself with both legs up. Exhale, right foot comes down, left leg up. Inhale up. Exhale. All right, now we walk back out to plank, or forearm plank, Pinchamayurasana plank. We're going to take the left arm across. We come onto the side. Right arm rests on the side. Now, you could stay just like this, or you can take your right foot forward. I don't blame you for doing either one because this is super hard. Inhale, the right arm comes up by here. Exhale, along the horizon. 2 more times. Inhale, don't rush it. Exhale. Take your right foot in front if you want to. Inhale. Exhale. And we come back onto our forearms. Right arm goes across now. We go on to the right side. Left arm rests on the left side waist. Inhale, left arm comes up by the ear. Exhale along the horizon. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Woo. Exhale. We come onto our forearms. Engage the rectus abdominis for a second. And then belly down. And we raise our heart. And usually at this point, I'm ready for another pranam or prayer pose. So let's roll down one vertebrae at a time. Forehead on the mat, hands together for pranam. You can say a Catholic prayer, a Hindi prayer, a Muslim prayer. Because Krishnamacharya says you don't have to be Hindi to do yoga, and you don't have to do yoga to be a Hindi.
Yoga is for everyone. Now, let's take our arms alongside the body. Forehead down on the mat. Just rest a second. We're going to do one of my favorite versions of Shalabhasana or locust. We're going to come up, take ourselves by the hand. Lift, inhale, exhale. Now inhale, lift the legs up. Exhale. Inhale, lift the heart more. Reach for the heels. Exhale. Inhale, peel the legs, the thighs above the mat. Exhale. Now remember prana, the upward directional flow of energy. Inhale, lift. Prana Vayu. Follow the prana, embody the prana. Bend the elbows, woo! Press back to child's pose. All right, let's come back up onto hands and knees. By this time, you know that I am just really a stickler for joint alignment. Hips under, knees under hips, wrists under shoulders. Let's tuck the toes and press back. And we're going to inhale, right leg up and go into warrior one. You ready? Here we go. Inhale up, bending the knee. Exhale, take it through warrior one. Bend the knee, come down into it. Both feet connected to the earth. And if your heart is kind of pointing that way, bring it around so it points the same direction as the knee. Now we flow into Virabhadrasana 2, gazing out over the fingertips like the warriors that we are. Palm up, we inhale. Exhale, we straighten the right leg and go right into whatever version of locust pose you want to do. Hand anywhere on the leg, or using a block. We turn it, we look up. Nice spinal twist. Now we're going to take that left arm and let it rest on the low back. Now if you want to, you can take your, what just happened here? Sometimes it's the weirdest thing in this studio, my volume will just go up for no reason. Anyway, welcome spirit. If you want, you can take your right hand to your thigh, but you don't have to. That's what I was talking about. My muscled up students, people with huge biceps, can't take their hand to the thigh, not because they're not amazing yogis, it's just, what's the word? Physiology. So we're gonna bend the right knee and we're gonna look forward. Turn onto the back toe, place a block. And we're gonna shift ourselves up onto that block and go into Ardha Chandrasana or balancing half moon. Now if you don't use a block, you don't have to use one here. Left hand is gonna come to the left hip. We're gonna lift that hip, reach up, gazing at the earth for connection. But if you want to, you could turn and see what happens sometimes. Turn your head. If you want to, you can turn and look up at your hand. Hand comes down. We bend that right knee, step down with our left foot, come back into plank. Let's do side plank to the left. So remember, drop the left knee or keep it straight. Side plank left. If you want, you could grab your yogi toe hold or your ankle. Take your leg up. I haven't done this in a while, so you can tell. And then come back. All right, side plank to the left. Do your thing, right knee down. Leg stacked. Whatever works for you. Good job. Nice. Woo! Good job, you guys. Back to plank. We'll press back to down dog. Inhale, left leg. We're going to warrior one.
Warrior two. Reverse. Lift your heart. And then we straighten that left leg and take our hand anywhere we want to. And come into triangle or Uttita Trikonasana. Turning, looking up. Opening that heart chakra. Now we're going to bend the right arm, let it rest on the low back. Turn and look at your mat. Bend that front knee, come onto your back toe. You can have a block here if you want to. And shift onto your left hand, pressing the left heel back. Coming into Ardha Chandrasana, we take our right hand to our right hip. We lift the hip. We reach up. Gazing at the earth, we're turning our gaze up to our hand. Hand comes down. We bend the left knee, right foot comes down. And here we go, back into plank. Making sure the wrists are under the shoulders. And inhale, right leg up, hold it for a second. Exhale, left leg, inhale up, exhale. Push up, now push up out of your shoulders and let's do it again. Inhale, right leg up, exhale. Left leg up, woo, push up. One more time, exhale. Left leg, now push-ups. I'm gonna drop my knees. You can keep your knees off the mat. Let's do 3. 1, 2, 3, and push back to child's pose. So from child's pose, we're going to come up onto our hands and knees. We're going to tuck our toes. And we're going to walk up, step outside of our feet. We're going to point our toes out, point our knees out, and bend the elbows pointing in as we coil in. Samana Vayu. Hands come together, sit on a block if you want, or a cushion. Bowing our heads. And then we press the hands together, press the arms against the legs, and lift the heart. Hands come to the mat. Now we did that Bakasana prep flow. Now we're going to do Bakasana. So shifting the weight into our arms. And you can play around here and do your own thing. You can come up onto one toe, come up onto the other toe, or you can take your feet off, looking straight down or a little bit forward. Now this is not easy for me. I have super tiny arms, but basically you find that balance point and you hold it. Feet to the floor, good job. Nicely done. Fingertips to the heels. And then I like to take my toes and massage my wrists a little bit. Keep in mind the knees can be bent as much as you want. Yoga is not all about peace, love, and light. We come into some dark spaces sometimes when we're doing yoga. I can't do that, or I suck at this, or whatever. Don't try and peace and love your way out of that. Just go through it. Just feel it. Process it. And be true to yourself. Fingertips on the mat, inhale up halfway. And now let's step back to down dog for our third and final wave. Press back.
we're gonna add some stuff this time. You ready? Inhale, right leg up. Take it through to warrior one. Remember to fully connect your feet to the earth. Come up to warrior one. And we're gonna do a little twist. Hands come down to heart center and we turn. Now you can take your left arm to your right thigh if you want to. Press the hands together and keep your heart lifted. Now when we come out of this, don't lose your lunge, okay? So we're coming out now. Keep that lunge. Just come up. Push your foot into the earth. Come up to warrior one. Warrior two. Reverse it. I think you know where we're going. Right into Utthita Trikonasana. Turn and look up. Let your left arm go onto your left or your low back. Turn and look down at the mat. Bend your knees. Turn onto your back toe. And shift onto your right hand for Ardha Chandrasana, balancing half moon. Lift your heart. It's like a balance beam scale. Create balance. If you want, you can free your left arm. Keep looking at the earth or turn your gaze upward. From here, we take our hands down. You can use a block here. It's really nice. Both hands on the block, and we are in warrior three. You can stay right there, or maybe take one hand up, or maybe both hands to the low back, or out to the side, or up overhead. Hands come down. We walk ourselves to the left side of the mat, and again, we go into Prasarita. Palms on the floor, inhale up halfway. Walk the feet in a little bit, grab the ankles, sit down, look up. Now come up into temple. Good. Now, shift into the forward leg, right arm on that leg, reach up, stretching that left leg. And then exhale along the horizon. Left arm goes onto the left leg. We inhale, right arm up. Yep, you got it. And we're gonna flow like this 3 or 4 times. Exhale. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale. Keep moving. Keep stirring the pot. Inhale, up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, pivot to the front, warrior one. Exhale. Plank. Simple plank, but it's not so simple, is it? Let's push up out of the shoulders. Let's engage the belly. Guess what? Lots of options in plank. You can do plank with your knees down. It's excellent. I just want to show you, when you do plank with your knees down, make sure your behind isn't up. You should have that straight line from your knees to your head. And let's push back to down dog from there. You ready? Left side. Inhale up. Warrior one. Oh, I love how these yogis in my studio today work with their breath. They're amazing. Warrior two. Come down. Reverse warrior. Lift your heart. Om Namah Shivaya. Straighten the left leg. Where do you want your hand? It's completely up to you. I don't care what studio you go to, what they're doing. Just remember, you have a right, and you should go where you need to go in an asana to keep yourself from being injured. Right arm rests on the low back. We turn and we look at the mat. We bend that front knee, we come up onto that left toe and shift into Ardha Chandrasana. Block or no block, whatever you want. Right hand to the hip, lift the hip, reach up. Gaze at the earth, it'll help you with your balance. If you want, turn and look up. Now both hands come down, we take the block in our hands. Press the heel back. So this is an important part of Warrior 3, is pressing that heel back and then lifting the heart up. That creates that balance. Now if you want to, you can put a little micro bend in the knee. Coming up to Warrior 3, however you want to. Hands come down to the mat. We're going to step back to plank. Knees down, child's pose. All right, let's come up into a seated position called vibrational. And again, if this creates stress on the knees, a block under the tailbone just fixes it. Palms up. So let's take the tailbone down between the two heels and lengthen the spine up, shoulders back. Breathe. We got all the energy flowing this morning. Now we're going to tuck the toes and do a variation of this by taking our hands behind us. I think a lot of people call this thunderbolt. I just love it. I don't know what the Sanskrit name is. You can have your elbows bent or straight. Pull your shoulders back and open the heart. If you want to, you can really raise the arms and lift your heart up. But again, to thine own self be true. Always listen to your body. That's the body-mind connection. Exhale onto your hands. Let's do 4 cat-cows just because they're amazing. Inhale, cow. So tailbone comes up and heart comes up. And look at how sloppy my shoulders. We must also come up in our shoulders. Look up. Exhale, draw in. Tailbone comes in. Chin comes in. We draw that navel up 3 more times. Inhale up, look up. Exhale. Inhale. Look up. Sometimes we don't realize that the gaze is a super important part of an asana. 1 more time. Inhale. Exhale. All right, now we're going to have a seat on the mat. So find your sits bones and your blocks. We're going to do seated forward fold. So stack your blocks however you want. And this is just a relaxation. So we're going to round the back and come down. You might feel a little tight, and you have this thing embedded in our muscles and tendons called the Golgi tendon. It's not really a tendon, but it's a little protection. It's like the engine light in your car. It lights up when it feels like you're doing too much, and then as you stay and don't push it, it'll often resolve and you can sometimes go a little deeper. So reconfigure your blocks. Let's sit up tall in staff pose, one of the Danda poses where we're nice and straight, palms up, heart is lifted. Let the top of your head float upward. round that back. Draw the navel in, round the back, and start to roll down one vertebrae at a time. Relax. Now we'll bend the knees. We'll lift our hips up and then roll down one vertebrae at a time. Right foot comes to the left knee, and then we're going to pull that left knee in. And you can straighten the leg here, or keep your leg bent. Whatever you like. I like to rock around a little bit too. So the moral of the story is there is no yoga teacher that will be upset with you for modifying. As a matter of fact, what that tells us is, wow, this yogi or this yogini is really in touch with themselves. Switch, right foot on the floor, left foot. We bring it in, leg straight or bent. And use your props. So if you have blocks, straps, use them. Now, roll to a side and come up. And if you have a bolster, great. We're gonna take this bolster and have a seat right at the end of your bolster. Don't worry about your phone. I have a lot of people that are on call, so it's not if stuff like that irritates a yoga teacher, then he or she needs to chill. Because we all work and have lives, right? Okay, so we're gonna sit like this. We're gonna put the soles of our feet together. And we're gonna unroll the blanket so that it looks like this, and then we're gonna fold it lengthwise. So you got your nice long blanket. You wrap it around the front of your ankles, and it supports your ankles. Now, if you want, you can take your other blanket and maybe put it under your legs, and then we lie back, palms up, and relax. So this is one of our restorative poses. You can put a block under the part of your bolster that where your head is, but I have found I don't need that. I don't think most people do. And so what we do is we completely surrender here. After an asana class like we just did, we are uniquely prepared to let it go. Letting go of the muscles in our face and our neck. Relaxing the shoulders and the arms. Relaxing the wrists and the hands. Now we're going to do something called a falling out breath, where we take in as much air as we can, and then we let it come out naturally. So the inhalation will be shorter than the exhalation, hopefully. So let's take a big deep breath in, take in as much air as you can, and then exhale, let it fall out easily. Now breathe normally. And let's do that one more time. Big deep breath, inhale. Exhale.
in a normal studio class, we would hold this for 2 to 3 minutes, but since we're being recorded, we're going to move on to a lovely spinal twist. We're going to take the left knee over to the right, and here you can, if you had something under your leg, you can remove it, and your upper body stays right on the bolster. Just relax. Shift our knees over the other direction. Roll the same direction onto our side, come up into a seated position. And now we're going to do a meditation, 1 minute, just 1 minute. Usually I would do 5 in class, but we're just going to do 1. So find yourself a comfortable position. A lot of people like to sit up on their bolsters, which is really nice too, so do whatever you want. And focus on your breath. Breathe in and out. If any thoughts come into your head, exhale them out with your breath. Here in the present moment. Staying present in this split second in time. More breaths in your meditative state. As we transition out of meditation, we come into this post-yoga state. It's very important that we take a few moments to just be here. All that yoga that you just did, so often we just get up and leave, but it's super important to reap the benefits and just be here and feel that centered, balanced feeling. Walk around in a constant state of fight or flight. That's the sympathetic nervous system. But when we do yoga, we come into the parasympathetic nervous system, which really helps us downshift. Our bodies need this, our minds need this. Bring our hands to heart center. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste. All right. So sit as long as you want. Don't feel like you have to jump up.